First, we lived our lives without any worries. If you ask many people, they have no idea how to spend their time. People say they are just passing time. Someone is playing cards. Someone is drinking alcohol. Someone is gambling. Someone is sitting in a hotel. Someone is sitting in a club. If you ask them what they are doing, they say they are passing time, as if there is an abundance of time that needs to be killed. But when it comes to the moment of death, the same person will cry and scream for an extra 24 hours, to see one more full moon night, to experience one more night of love, to spend one more night with their loved ones, to see the sun rise one more time, to witness one more spring, to see flowers bloom one more time, to hear birds sing one more time. At that moment, they realize everything is slipping away. They no longer think about what to do. They used to kill time, but now time is killing them. If you think you are killing time, you are mistaken. Time is killing you. How can you kill time? How can you cut time? Man does not have a saw that can cut time. Time is so subtle that no saw can cut it. Time's saw cuts you. When you play cards and say you are passing time, time laughs at you. Time is bringing you closer to death. The day death stands at your door, you will be in trouble. There is a story of a woodcutter who turned 70. He spent his entire life cutting wood. Many times he thought about dying. Many times he prayed to God, "Why don't you send my death? What is the point of this life? Every day I cut wood, sell wood. I am tired of barely earning my daily bread. Even then, my stomach is not full. Sometimes I get one meal, sometimes I fast both meals. Sometimes it rains too much and I cannot cut wood. Now I am old and sometimes fall ill. How much do I earn from cutting wood anyway?" One day he was returning home, tired, carrying his bundle of wood. He felt his life was utterly useless. He threw down his bundle, raised his hands to the sky and said, "Death comes to everyone, but not to me. Oh death, have you forgotten me? Take me now." By coincidence, which does not happen often, it happened that day. The angel of death was passing by on his way to take someone else. He thought, "The old man is calling out with such sincerity," so he came. He placed his hand on the old man's shoulder and said, "Brother, what do you want?" The old man saw death standing before him. Life had left him many times, and he had called for death many times. Calling for death has its own thrill. When death stood before him, he forgot all about his desire to die. He didn't say anything about dying. Instead, he said, "My bundle has fallen to the ground, and since there is no one here to help me, I called you to lift it up for me. Thank you, but there's no need for you to come. Just lift my bundle and place it on my head." The same bundle that had troubled him, he asked death to lift and put back on his head. That day, the old man was filled with joy as he returned home, rejuvenated, as if he had become young again, immensely happy that he had escaped death. In the face of death, the desire to live becomes evident. Now he could see death approaching, and he could see the life he had wasted without ever truly living it. He had never really enjoyed life, thinking that ephemeral pleasures were not worth it. He never ate properly, never dressed well, never enjoyed music or festivities. He spent his life in this manner, always hoping for something beyond. But now death stood before him, and he was unsure if there was anything beyond death. Who could guarantee it? So he felt a strong urge to live. My approach is fundamentally different. I tell you, do not run away from desires. Do not suppress them. Live them fully and completely. Do not miss the opportunity of this life. Dive as deeply as you can into the experiences life offers. But remember one thing. Stay aware and keep observing whether you find anything in these experiences. I do not ask you to fast. Rather, I ask you to savor your food as much as you can. But with every bite, keep observing whether you truly find satisfaction. Like bubbles on water, desires arise and vanish. Dive deep into desires, but every time turn the act of fulfilling a desire into a meditation. Observe closely whether you gain anything from it. I am not telling you to conclude that there is nothing to be gained. If you do so, you will start suppressing desires. I am not saying that you should dismiss desires as worthless. I am saying observe keenly whether you find anything worthwhile. If you do, that's fine. If not, you will see that everything is ashes. This realization will dawn on you, and you will know that life is ultimately just ashes. Then, when death comes, you will not be afraid. If there was nothing in life to hold on to, why fear when it is leaving? We hold on because we never saw clearly what life truly is. A boy loved eating yogurt and refused to give it up despite everyone's efforts. He was taken to monks and saints, but the more they tried to dissuade him, the more he loved yogurt. This is natural. Prohibition increases attraction. Tell someone not to look through a door and they will be tempted to peek. Finally, they took him to an old man who might have been someone like me. The old man said, "Son, never stop eating yogurt. It has great benefits. It is a remedy for countless ailments." The boy was surprised, as everyone else had always spoken against yogurt. The old man listed the benefits. First, those who eat yogurt never get robbed because they cough all night, keeping thieves away. Second, yogurt eaters never drown because they avoid water, fearing cold and cough. Third, dogs never bite yogurt eaters because they walk so slowly and weakly with a stick that dogs pity them. Fourth, yogurt eaters never grow old because they die young. The boy was stunned and realized the wisdom behind the old man's words. From that day, he gave up eating yogurt. I say to you, eat plenty of yogurt. You won't be robbed, a dog won't bite you, you won't drown, and you won't grow old music. There is only one way to be free from desires. Understand the pain they bring. And to understand this pain, immerse yourself consciously in desire. That's why I tell you, don't fight desire. Don't run from it, awaken to it. The day you realize the futility of desire, your entire life will seem pointless. When death comes, you will be able to thank it, for it frees you from all the turmoil. Death takes nothing from you because you never possessed anything. Then you will embrace death. Welcome it. For those who can welcome death, it becomes the door to liberation. How can the search for God begin before the search for the world is complete? Your spiritual guides don't let you complete this search. They keep you stuck. They don't let you delve into your own life experiences. They pluck you from the tree while you are still unripe. The search for God starts only when the world seems utterly meaningless. When you deeply realize that nothing in the world holds value, only then will you embark on a quest for another world. As long as your mind is entangled here, thinking there might be something left to explore, something you haven't yet seen, how can you search for God? Searching for God means acknowledging the utter futility of the world through your own experience. Then you can name it God, liberation, nirvana, or truth, whatever you choose. But the quest doesn't start before this realization. There are so few seekers of God because there is so much deceit in His name. In the name of God, immature souls are misled. People are enticed by greed in God's name. But greed cannot lead to freedom. Most scriptures say, give up something to gain much more. And when someone gives up to gain, they aren't truly letting go. If you renounce 1 rupee thinking you'll get 1,000 in return, you haven't really renounced anything. You've made a big bargain. Your attachments remain the same. You haven't changed at all. Your God becomes false because you are false. If you haven't genuinely examined the precious opportunity this life offers, then you haven't made good use of it. First, I urge you to scrutinize this opportunity thoroughly. Don't waste it on trivial matters or idle talk. This is your life. Experience it fully. If you feel anger, feel it deeply so that the pain of anger becomes clear. Only then, through this clarity, will it become difficult to be angry. If you have desire, delve deeply into it until you see that there is no essence in it. Experience it vividly and learn from it. If you're driven by wealth, pursue it. There's no harm in running after wealth. But if you do so and become a saint, you'll continue chasing wealth even as a saint. If you have a taste for politics, fight elections and get involved in the chaos. If you back out midway thinking there's nothing in it because some wise person told you so, you might become a saint, but your life will be that of a politician. True transformation comes from inner change, not outer change. People have made many external changes in the name of religion. I've heard a Russian tale. A crow was flying swiftly, and a nightingale asked, "Uncle, where are you going?" The crow replied, "I'm going east. I can't stay here anymore." The nightingale asked why. The crow said, "People here dislike my song. They tell me to stop my cawing before I even start. There's no freedom to sing here." The nightingale said, "But simply going east won't solve your problem. If you don't change your voice, people there will also dislike your song." The crow was asked, "Why?" And it thought about it. The nightingale was right. Changing locations won't help. You need to change your voice. Similarly, changing circumstances won't help. Your mindset needs to change. A man troubled by household life won't find peace just by leaving it. He might start a new household elsewhere. If he had attachments to his children, he might develop the same attachment to disciples. No difference at all. The nightingale rightly said that moving east won't change anything. People there will be equally annoyed by your cawing. There are few true seekers of God because there are many false seekers. They clutter the path, making it harder for genuine seekers to emerge.